and in business. I am going to start off with because we have several new members, and it's just worth reminding us all about our communication process. You all have Town of Waterboro email accounts. You must use those accounts for all communication concerning the planning board, because it is archived as part of the open meeting requirement that we fulfill by archiving that material. So even if, for example, like me, I'll get a notice on my Gmail that I've got an email from Tammy or from something to do with the planning board, I have to go back into Rackspace to respond to it. If you respond from your private email, it won't be archived. And then you open up a whole host of other issues. On that same, in that same vein, we also have to watch how we communicate among ourselves and among other people who may be associated with any of the projects that we deal with, that we only do it in the course of a formal meeting or a recorded session. Ex parte communication is contrary to the open meeting law, and we really need to be just mindful of that as we come into contact with anyone associated with one of the projects that's under our review. Does anyone have any questions concerning those requirements?
No questions, but I'd like to explain. If you answer planning board emails from your personal accounts, your personal email accounts are now open to the public.
Correct.
All right? So always best, you can get notices, but open up privately your planning board emails.
Yeah.
Also, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Yes.
I'd also like to suggest that that does not pertain to staff. So if any planning board member, not members, but member, has a specific question about a project, you can communicate to Tammy or whoever's sitting in her position in a little bit, Glenn or myself, and ask us questions and talk about a specific project issue. That is not ex parte. It's only amongst voting members that becomes an issue.
Right, so we can't caucus
Correct.
away from our formal meetings.
Correct.
Nor can we involve ourselves with meetings with people appearing before us to discuss their projects
Correct. But you can communicate with staff.
with staff.
So if members review something and they have information that they know, because they're, you know,
Contact staff.
and then staff will disseminate it to the other planning board members.
If you have any ex parte information that concerns anything that we are dealing with, it is your responsibility to disclose that ASAP, so that we can get it on the record, avoid any appearance of conflict or of anything that would be less than transparent in our dealings. Okay, enough said. We are going to go immediately to the New Horizons Town Deli. We've completed the site walk. We have, Joe, we just briefly, you've given us updated information based on yesterday's conversations about stormwater inspection and maintenance plan and additional planning.
The quick change to that stormwater plan was some language regarding areas that have snow piles, that they're required to go out there after the snow melt in spring and clean up any debris, trash, sand deposits, keep it clean and orderly. And then the landscaping plan, we can talk about that later. We talked about the sidewalk, but I can also go through it again later. What changed.
It essentially reflects the fence and the trees
Yep.
that we talked about in the course of the
Exactly.
sidewalk and at yesterday's meeting. Is there any need to go through that further? Okay, thank you. By the way, we have a quorum for the record. From yesterday's meeting, we asked Lee to prepare a list of conditions that he suggested to be approved, to be associated with this application. You all have a copy of that. What I'd like to do is focus simply on the 6 conditions right now. Are there any of these 6 conditions that would be a matter of concern? Yes?
This, the first one, which talks about the permits from the state, list crew, and I'm sorry, but the term eludes me, for an underground water study. See what's
Oh, the
under there?
hydrogeologic.
Thank you. Is that included in these permits?
If there's a permit required, I think there is under the state rural water, correct? For the wells on site?
The wells on site are remaining, but there's a permit process required
Right,
for.
No.
correct.
Um,
There's a permit,
I'm talking about water under the site where you're gonna be digging. I mean, the whole enchilada.
no,
What we're
there's
dealing
no,
with in
there,
What we're dealing with in Waterboro is last summer, we had multiple wells go dry. If this project interrupts aquifers that may feed 20, 30, 40 homes down the line, we need to know about it before this project moves
there is
forward.
no permit required for a hydrogeologic study.
We can require it as a condition.
Okay,
There's
well,
no
I'm gonna-
permit required. You can, if you want to go down that road, you can ask them to provide you a study, but there is no permit
Right. Yeah,
required.
yeah. So we can see what's under it before any major work.
I'm going to interrupt you. What I would like to do is focus on these 6 requirements right now. If we want to add a requirement, we'll discuss that separately.
Right.
Is there any, do I hear a motion to accept?
Just
Go ahead.
just for clarification, on number 4, what type of notification are we talking about? How far in advance does
Yep.
it need to be?
Yep, I had suggested last night 10 minutes. I believe that there is some standards. I'm actually not completely read up on that, but there are standards that the blast company is required to adhere to. It's a matter of just making sure that they understand they need to notify those abutters.
Yeah, I know the applicant's been doing blasting in the past. What's your standard practice that?
Actually, Dearborn Construction is going to be doing the site work here, and their team's right up the road. I talked to her this morning, and they do a 500-foot, typical is a 500-foot blast survey, like we had talked about last night. And then they have state standards for notification, and they'll follow the same state standards they do at the pit.
Okay, so the notification is against state standards.
Correct.
Any other questions or concerns about these?
Dave?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. On number 1, no building permits. Is that no work at all?
I was going to raise my hand to that. What I'd like to do is, what I usually do is permit the foundation and then not permit the actual structure. They have a ton of groundwork to do. And I don't think it's necessary that we restrict all construction on the site waiting for state permits. We should allow them to proceed with the foundation and all infrastructure under the ground, and then take a status of where the state permits are before the actual structure permit is issued.
So some of the work is involving grading and
The only-
Does that affect state, is that a state permitting process then?
Well, I think where Glenn is going is that before they can actually dig the hole where the foundation is and place the foundation, they need a permit from him. Relevant to the rest of the site, grading, any tree cutting, grubbing, anything like that, there is no permits that are issued for that. So I think Glenn is suggesting that the wording, I'm not speaking for him, but what I'm hearing is no building permit for the upper portion of the structure shall be issued.
That's correct. I mean, we should allow them to proceed with groundwork and foundation work because it is September.
So how would you word that?
The foundation and underground drainage and ponds.
May begin?
What?
How about no building permit with the exception of?
Okay. And the exception being?
The foundation, grading, excavating, drainage, ponds.
Well, site work. I would just say foundation and any site work.
Yep, that's a good, clean term.
Foundation, and with the exception of foundation and site work?
Correct.
Yeah.
Dave?
Yes, sir.
And I still think that we should get a geological study before any work's done.
All right, we'll get to that. We're looking at these 6 items right now.
Well, we are.
And if we add, then you'll have the chance, once we're done with these 6, to add any others that you think are necessary.
Mr. Chair, we
Yes.
do have a concern with one of the conditions when you get to it. If you want us to speak now, we can, or if you want to
Go ahead.
forward. Condition number 6, the no lit signage should be placed on the canopy over the fuel location. We have requested the project be required to meet the sign standards that are provided within the ordinance.
I would agree with that request. The number 6 is kind of vague.
Just so you know, there are no standards relevant to canopy lighting.
Mhm.
Is there signage requirements for canopies?
That's what I
Signage
meant.
requirements?
No.
Well, hold on just a minute. Explain that.
Is there signage requirements?
We have a sign ordinance.
And that would apply to any signage on the canopy?
That is correct.
But not necessarily lighting, right?
That is also correct.
Can I ask, would that also include, like if they were to do branding, if there was to actually brand at Irving at a later date or anything like that, they couldn't put,
It's all accumulative.
okay.
Yep,
So it's square footage
that's correct.
kind
Yeah,
of
but
measure.
I'm just saying,
Right.
is it says
Lit signage.
lit signage.
I mean, you could put, for example, under that condition, any decal type of signage that would go on a canopy can go on a canopy provided you meet the sign standards. It would just lit signage.
Could I ask, is there any other stations in town that have lit signage on the county?
Yeah, just about all of them.
They do?
Why would we be separate?
They're all internally lit.
Well, the terminology is backlit, so any canopy you pass in town, I can only think of one that isn't, and I think that's the milk room, are backlit. So, no lit signage is kind of vague for me to enforce, so you have to either eliminate number 6 or clean it up a lot more than what it is. I think you should allow a canopy to be backlit. I mean, that's what they do across the
I think
land.
6 should be eliminated because we don't even have what a proposed design of the canopy and what might be on there. So how can we place a condition on something that we don't even know what's being proposed? That's what I had asked yesterday, why we don't have a design of what the canopy would be, because that is a structure. The canopy is considered a structure that's going on site, so it should be part of this plan.
It's not a structure regulated by Waterboro.
But it's still a structure nonetheless.
Still a structure, just not regulated by Waterboro.
Yes.
Perhaps the concern is how bright is probably what we're getting at here, I think. Because I'd like to know, Lee J, what was your intention of number 6? When you said
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the brightness of the lighting at night.
luminous.
Luminous, it's the brightness of the lights at night. It's got nothing to do with anything but that, but, I mean, I think there was a lot of discussion surrounding lighting last night, so I wanted to at least include that for discussion.
And
What the
that,
board
if
chooses to
I'm
do.
recalling the site plan correctly, that is away from any butters. It's,
Yes, it is.
So it's shielded by the forested land on the side and.
Correct.
Really only seen by the building, and then the road is.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, I would have no objection to leaving this as not a condition and simply say, I mean, as long as it's consistent with other signage for similar kind of activities, it's not, it should not be an issue.
Don't get carried away now.
Gone.
We don't want spotlights.
So we're removing 6.
Yes.
6 is out.
And you can keep it on, but the condition number 5, about the hemlock trees and being 6 to 8 foot on the new landscape plan, as I meant to do it. I think in the schedule, instead of saying number 3, or
Number 3.
it now says 8 feet tall.
Okay. So
You
that's,
can keep the condition going, but
Well,
it's
if-
down in,
Well, if we keep that condition, then we avoid everyone
I guess I
going
didn't
out
update
measuring
it.
tapes.
a new one?
Which I
Yes.
prefer not to do.
this one you just handed me.
Yeah, so, I guess keep the condition.
All right, we're going to keep the condition.
Yeah, keep it. Okay, any other discussion? We've changed the language of number 1, so no building permit with the exception of foundation and site work shall be issued.
Correct.
And number 4, I have simply, we're keeping it, but that's consistent with state regulation.
Yep.
Is that correct? Is there any other discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
probably number 3, just to add that any trees placed on the site that do not last 2 years must be replaced in kind. So the dead trees replaced by what is dead,
In kind being the key
in
word.
kind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That make sense?
that's fine.
It does.
Let's pick that.
Yeah.
Tammy, have you gotten those changes? Okay. Do I hear a motion to accept these 5 conditions as part of the application? I have a motion.
Yes, a motion to accept.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor of accepting these 5 conditions? Opposed? One opposed. These conditions are attached. Okay, are there any other conditions that should be considered with this application?
Oh, is that me?
You're the one that's raising it.
I really want a geological study before any work is done. Let's find out.
Hydrogeological.
Thank you. A hydrogeological study before any work is done, before a shovel goes in the ground. That would make me feel much better about this project. Again, I'll repeat, last summer, we had multiple wells go dry. If this thing interrupts an aquifer, families live on this water.
We already, if I recall correctly, the plan already has a hydrological study. Part of it?
What we had furnished with the plans, that was a geological study, just for the foundation purposes that Summit did. But as I stated last night, if you look at the plan, there's a circle that's on the plan, a dash plan that shows the aquifer line, this whole building site, the tank pad, everything that we are touching completely is out of any aquifer, the U.S. Geology aquifer map, and that's, you can see it on the plan. And so, secondly, the amount of blasting that we're going to do on site is minimal. We got about 6 feet of ledge in the tank hole that we're going to have to pop to get the depth of the tanks, and then we might have minor blasting. And as I say, minor, getting the drain line that runs all the way around the property to get to the edge. It fails in tremendous comparison to what's being blasted at Dearborn's pit across the road. And so, I mean, you can do what you like as a board, but I'm just saying honestly, I think it doesn't.
Which one of
Excuse me,
these?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
You have a motion on the floor. That's part of a discussion. You need a second for the discussion to continue.
We have.
The motion from.
No, we don't have.
There's no motion.
There's no motion. We
The
already
motion for
had a
the
motion.
hydrogeological.
No,
study.
he's just discussion, but no motion. He hasn't made a
Raising
motion.
it, but not a motion yet.
Which one of these has got that study on it, you said? C, what? Remember what number it was?
Well, all of them have the aquifer line on it.
Somebody clear this one, please.
This one right here, this is the aquifer.
And the dotted.
That dotted line, this side over here is like way over here, so it wouldn't even fit on the map. There's an island there in the middle of the aquifer.
And you got this from what?
It's off the geological survey map for the aquifer in this region. That's what all.
So
of
this is U.S. Geological Survey.
And the state of Maine provides files that you can bring in, you can drop in. If your project's on a state datum, you can drop that right in. So it
Right.
falls
I mean, that's
back.
the accepted standard.
Yes. For gasoline sites, for tank locations and everything. That's what you use.
Any other discussion amongst the board? Is there a motion to place this on as a condition of the approval?
Yeah, repeat that, please.
Do I hear a motion to?
No. What's the motion on?
Well, the motion would be, it sounds like you would make a motion to require a hydrogeological study before construction could begin.
Of any construction?
Yeah, well, it's your word.
That would make me happy.
Well, is that a motion?
It's a motion.
Okay, is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second. That being the case, we come to the approval, the acceptance and approval of the of the application. Do I, and Tammy, correct me if I'm wrong, we're looking for a motion to approve the plan, the submission, the application,
Approve the site plan as presented.
and with the conditions that are attached.
You're done with conditions?
Yes, unless you want to raise another.
I'm still interested in the fence. The way I see it, these guys can move a building, they got engineers, they got a ton of money. I find it hard pressed if they can't figure out how to put a fence in that corner of the property.
Do you want to make that a motion?
Sure.
Okay, is there a second?
Can you repeat what the motion?
The motion was to put a fence at the,
Where the houses are.
along that line. And
Along the-
argument has been that
It would be along the southeast corner of the property.
In the high point of the property. To protect the houses from, believe it or not, section 210 of our ordinance. Talks all about this. Headlights, and it goes on.
Well, section 210 is the standards which your findings would be based on, so you could certainly also go through the standards this evening and make sure that you're comfortable with each one of those standards, that they have met that. What they don't do is that does not establish, you must have fencing here or landscaping there. If they've provided something that you're satisfied with, then you can say, you can agree or disagree that they have met that standard for your findings of fact.
So your motion is specifically that a fence be installed.
So not around the whole property, just the section that affects the houses in that corner. That's all I'm asking for, guys.
Is there a second? Or is there, we have a motion, we're waiting to see if we have a second.
Can I clarify that a little bit, just
Excuse me, we have a motion on the floor. So and we've discussed the fencing several times at this point, so I'm not sure, if there's any further need for clarification, I'm not sure what it is.
Does John Mackey need to be notified of the extra trees that are proposed to be put in? Is he missed
That was part of the discussion yesterday.
Okay.
The extra trees that are being added.
Okay.
Are we, we have a motion on the floor
And I'll just say, I'll leave it to them to figure out the footage. I don't want to overkill it. Just give me something on the corner, separating the parking lot, headlights, everything's going to go on there.
It can't
for those
work like
houses.
that. That can't work like that, Mr. Chair. If you're going to have a motion for a fence, then you have to dictate the length of the fence
length of fence and height.
in height,
And type.
location,
Yeah.
type.
And
So you either do it all, or you do none of
We
it.
went through this yesterday.
We did.
I think that,
So just as a point of interest, on the latest plan that you have in front of you, they did provide additional fencing
from the
on
sides
either
of the
side of
building,
the, that's correct,
and that's part
where
of
the
the
parking
discussion
spaces
yesterday.
are.
Right, so the headlights are blocked
Correct,
from those parking places. So
Yes.
that should not be an issue.
Right, so it's the open corner. When they're going to swing around, they're going to come around the back of the building.
And that fence is going to extend out, perhaps you can show us where the extent of the fence will be?
So these are the parking spaces right here. So the fence, where there isn't a building, there'll be a fence extended out from the building.
Where's the open spot as compared to where the houses are? How many feet would you say off the top of your head?
From
From
where?
the end of the fence and where the lights would be able to shine in those houses?
Well, from that corner to the side of the building is 230 feet, so about 230 feet.
No, I meant like the open space in the
Oh,
The parking
30, 40
places,
feet, but that's where we want to put snow storage.
But it's also where we screened it with trees.
And could you go to the next slide? Come on. So this is just kind of I expanded the aerial so you can more see where the houses are in relation to everything, so. Kind of the headlights pointing from cars driving in this back area, it's just.
Yeah, you go around the corner, generally speaking, they come in, say they come down and they're gonna take a left. Anything that could shine to the corner, but
Yeah.
this, we're talking 30 feet.
Most of the traffic is going to be coming in here. Stuff around the back of the building is the primary way.
thank you. So, do we want to pursue this?
No.
Okay. So, absent any further discussion or proposed conditions, do I hear a motion to approve the application? Yes?
Did we ever get around, what was the final on hours of operation, hours of delivery, and all that? Are we leaving that open?
We are leaving that open. We're not, that's something, if we want to deal with it, we should deal with it as an ordinance issue, I think, rather than taking it incrementally and putting conditions on one applicant where we don't put similar requirements on others. I think that you're going to slippery slope. The planning board, I don't believe, this is my opinion, should be an agent of broad-based regulatory imposition just simply on the basis of application. Right now, if they were doing nothing, they could open up 24 hours without our approval. So I think it's inconsistent with our mission. Again, if we want to go after that, then we should look at the zoning ordinance and go after it, and then we paint with a fair and broad brush within the town limits, and everyone is subject to the same requirement, and we can give people an ease-in time to get there. But I think it becomes a bit arbitrary when we use the planning board as a means to do that.
I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, that it's more of a policy decision that should be left for the selectmen to decide for the town, that we just apply what we have in front of us in the ordinance.
So, we go back. Do I hear a motion to accept the application?
Motion to accept the application.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second from Deborah. Any further discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Why would we not want to put this business on a water district?
Why would we?
Why not? Why put extra strain on the aquifers that people live on their houses with?
I think you're introducing a completely new idea that has not been subject to review or discussion. And I think we're a little late.
I brought it up yesterday.
Well, if you want to make a motion that we can withdraw the motion and you can make a motion that I do.
Yes, please.
Okay, would you want to withdraw your motion? While we hear
While we
this?
hear this, yes,
Yes.
I withdraw.
Deborah, you withdraw your second? Thank you. Go ahead.
Make a motion that this project be considered for the water district.
Do I hear a second? Absent a second, and the motion dies. Do I hear a motion to accept the application?
Motion to accept.
We have a motion. We have a
Second
second. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Thank you very much. We are done. We now have further business of the planning board. Busy Bees Childcare. We have the findings of packages.
Yes.
You have your
Okay, Dave.
packets.
Okay.
I have the original for you to sign to approve with what's in front of you.
And this reflects the changes that were asked for at our last meeting.
Correct.
One was the Jersey barriers versus the boulders,
Yes.
and the other was the days of operation, it was Saturday. Do I hear a motion to accept these findings of fact? Dwayne, do I hear a second?
Second.
Do you have a second? John? Any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? You passed. Thank you very much.
I abstain as I was
He
not
wasn't
here
here.
for
He
wasn't here.
consideration.
One abstention.
Sure, now you want to, where were you when I need you?
Okay.
The Jersey barriers are still up at Busy Bees also, by the way.
I noticed that, yeah, well, I saw them in there with a backhoe the other day.
Oh, you did?
It looked like they were sort of moving things around or trying to, but wasn't sure what that was about. Our last item of the evening is the minutes review. And we have minutes of May 15. And Tammy, I'm sorry, I don't have that minutes item, on May 15th?
Yeah, they should have been all in your packet.
Are there?
Yeah. May 15th is when you had 2 prior members that were
Yes.
sitting on the board, both May 15th and June 19th.
Yep.
Lee reached out to Natalie Burns
Right.
to find out whether or not we had to have a quorum to approve the minutes. And because you have prior members not here, you do
Right.
not need to have that quorum. Natalie said
Yes, sir.
that this is more a paper,
This is an
Paper trail.
administrative act, it doesn't
Correct.
even require
yeah.
any
Typical members present.
So the members that were present at those 2 meetings can either approve,
Okay.
deny, change, modify those minutes.
So the members present were myself, Dwayne, and John.
Yep,
Is there any?
for May 15th.
Do we approve these minutes? Yes, yes, and yes. They are approved. June 19th, we have John, Lori, and myself. Do we approve these minutes?
I agree, yes.
Yes, we are approved. July 10th, we have everyone in the bus, we're here. July 10th meeting minutes, are they approved? I hear the raise of hands. Deborah wasn't here.
Go ahead.
They're approved.
Slide it out.
August 7th, we have the usual crew plus Kayla and Deborah.
I have a small revision.
Yes?
You
You should have a new copy of the revisions that were originally sent out. So it's
Yes.
the revision.
Yes. In reading it again. That's what you
Yeah.
get for making me read stuff over and over.
Yep.
Where it says the time, 6 PM until midnight. The discussion that night was 6 PM to 11.
Oh, to 11? Okay.
Do,
Saturday nights.
that's the Saturday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do we agree, those who were present, does anyone object to that change?
No objection.
Hearing no objection, those meeting minutes are approved.
Hey, you make a motion.
No, we don't, we
There's a
don't.
bug in my eye. There it is.
There we go. No, we
Did
just.
you get him?
All right. Is there any other business to be taken care of by the board this evening?
Can I
Please.
say something before we adjourn? This is Tammy's last meeting. She's been a
Well, sort
great,
of.
what's that?
Sort of.
Sort of. She's been a great co-worker and she really rose to meet the challenge of a new job when she came on. And we'll miss her.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thanks. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Busy bees.
We got a second. Everybody in favor? Yahoo, we're out of here.
Go Pats.
We have.